Hello everyone, I'm the Canadian Gaming Penguin. The Moonfire Faire event has begun in Final Fantasy XIV and will continue on until August 26th, 2021. The event begins in Limsa in the upper decks by the aft castle, which is where I currently am, and by speaking with the NPC Moyaru. I'm pretty sure I just butchered the name. In order to start the quest, you are required to be level 30. And yes, I was in the G pose there. And the NPC's name is Moyaru. Okay, I did actually have it right. I was thinking had the last name as the first name. Anyways, as per usual, I'm going to be playing through this event, and so here we go. Unseasonable chills. Moyaru will stop at nothing to see that you enjoy the seasonal festivities to the fullest. And of course, this quest, like all other event quests, is available for a limited time. Well, if it isn't my favorite adventurer, come to enjoy the Moonfire festivities again this year, have you? I promise you're in for a scorchingly sweltering good time. As you may very well know, the fair is a storied tradition that, in recent years, has served to promote the effort of the Adventurers Guild on behalf of Eorzeans everywhere. Once again, we've got a piping hot plate full of exciting activities for one and all. This year, we've also been tasked by none other than Master Gigaruju, our ever-generous patron of the event, with creating the ultimate icy dessert to stave off the heat. We'd more than welcome the aid of a skilled adventurer like yourself, and needless to say, we'd reward you well for your efforts. If you'd be willing and able to lend a hand, simply hop over to Costa del Sol and speak to my colleague, speak to your colleague, Herr Mugga. Yeah. So, naturally, let us teleport to there. And then we'll fly our way over here and be surrounded by a ton of polar bears once we get there. Oh, there's actually less of them than I thought. And if you're wondering, nope, we can't do that yet, as I expected. Here, Maga. Well, if it isn't Slytherin, come to help us create our frozen masterpiece, have ya? Why, I couldn't have asked for a better partner in our confectionery challenge. And how glad I am to hear it. Odds honest truth, you're in a bit of a bind here. You see, though we've been tasked with making the most delightfully frosty dessert, we are suffering from a lack of all-important ingredient, ice. Shipment was supposed to come in bells ago, but word has it it's been held up by some disturbance in the area. Might you be so kind as to check with my associate, Pabiana, and see if she knows anything further? She should be just to the east of here, over on the beach. And we need to go over here, where the other crowd of people are. And just a hint of a device, if you need to click through them and you happen to be on PC, hold the X key. By default, it will hide all the names. And, well, mine are currently displayed off, but if you can see, I still have the problems of clicking them. But if we hold the X key and right-click over there, I will get the NPC every time. Hello! Celebrian, what a pleasure it is to see you again! I imagine Herr Maga sent you to ask about the delayed shipment of ice. To be quite honest, the situation is something of a complicated one. As you may have heard from this year's festivities, Master Gigaruju has imposed upon us a rather daunting task, preparing the finest frozen dessert the realm has ever seen. Ha, I said dessert right this time. He promised us that he would spare not a single guild to see the deed done, so we decided to enlist the services of one of the realm's most prominent confectioners. Confectioners? Maybe I said that right the first time. All well and good to this point, yes? As it turns out, this confectioner was a hopeless perfectionist, insisting that only the finest ice in all of Eorzea would serve for her creation. She hopped on the next vessel to the northern seas. What? And that's the last we saw of her. It's not that I fear for her life, mind you. Pardon the pun, but she's one tough cookie. That said, the festivities are all but upon us, and if she doesn't make it back soon... Egats! The poor girl's drowning out there! Glub. 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 That garb! Yes, it's her, Celebrian. That's Nikeki, the self-same confectioner of whom I just spoke. We must help her at once. And we'll slowly jog our way over there. Fairgoer. As soon as I saw her, I swam out and brought her to shore. But were we too late? Who knows? Poor Nikeki. Do you suppose she's alright? Chocobo. Nikeki. Will she be alright now? In any event, I'll leave her to your capable hands. Bye-bye. Oh, Nikeki, you've come back to us. Thank the gods. Papiano? Is that you? Why? I'm back in Costa del Sol. You are indeed. Whatever happened to you out there? Were you swept away in a storm? Tossed from your boat for some eldritch horror from the depths of the sea? I fear my memory is still hazy. As I remember, we sailed to the northern seas where, after braving the elements and some vicious fiend set on making a meal of me, I succeeded in procuring the most pristine ice I've ever laid eyes upon. We began the journey back, and just as we were approaching Costa del Sol, it's no use. The only thing I remember is our vessel capsizing and my body being flung from the deck along with my hard-won supply of ice. But at least I made it back in one piece, and I have you and your friend here to thank for that, Papiano. Oh, it was nothing. Just leave it to me. Huh? Do you see the what? Oh, my dearest friends, you too survived the shipwreck. Why I couldn't be happier. Even though I sounded completely flat while I sang it. These creatures are your friends? Aren't they lovely? We met on the Isle of the North. I shared some of my treats with them. The next thing I knew, they were following me everywhere. They're gentle and strong, and the most perfect companions, really. Alright, that's enough of the touching reunion. My precious ice is scattered all about the place. Go round it up and bring it here. On the double now. Rawr! Frosty fluff balls. I didn't notice that before. And yes, I say before because I played this on my main character already. Well, would you look at that? They're quite clever, aren't they? Oh, lucky day. The seals are intact and the ice inside undamaged and unmelted. That means only one potential rub remains. A rub? Yes, as a matter of fact, the ice you see is everything I hoped it would be, which is why I was rather to my chagrin that- chagrin. I never know how to pronounce that word. When I later discovered that a dreadful fiend slumbered in the rather large chunk of ice that I had unloaded onto our vessel. Kaboom! Yes, it's all coming back to me now. As we neared Costa del Sol, with the balmy winds drifting in, I heard a dreadful rumbling coming from the cargo hold. I rushed down to investigate, only to see the fearsome creature. It appeared rather perturbed by the heat, and it suddenly began to swell larger and larger until, boom! It would appear my own carelessness was the cause of our unfortunate incident. Fortunately, my furry companions and I have survived the shipwreck, as has my stock of the purest ice. And yet, I fear the fiend will be back, in search of the icy home I so unceremoniously stole from him. Whatever am I to do? Have no fear, my dear Nakaki. In fairs over the years, my friends and I have fought off more bombards than you can shake its stick at. Why, Bombard Buster would be my middle name. Now let's go apprise Hermaga of the situation. Surely he'll have an idea as to how we can deal with the menace and kick the festivities off with a bang. Uh-huh. And I love the polar bears waving their paws in this part. I even mimicking them. I'm even mimicking them, so much so that I can't speak, apparently. Nakaki. I'm not sure how much help I'll be, and yet I'm the one who brought this menace here. It wouldn't do for me to just stand on the sidelines while you do all the heavy lifting. Pobiano. Hermaga's on old hand at bombard busting. He's sure to have a trick or two up his sleeve that will serve us well. Hermaga. Hermaga. List blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Ah, Celebrian. I was wondering when I might hear back from you and Pobiano. Now I see your star of confectioner has joined you as well. Pray tell you how do you fare? As I sound like a robot. Oh dear. So while the ice has been safely procured, a blustery bombard of behemoth-like proportions has been procured alongside it. No doubt that has something to do with the panic screams I hear coming from the beach. And not to worry, after all, what is the Moonfire Faire if not a season for blasting ill-tempered, hot-headed balloons out of the air? And I know just the person to assist us in the effort. Just a moment now. Say no more, Master Hermaga. I stand ever at the ready, my friends. Who goes there? Surely you've heard the tales of Thracia, brave leader of the Bombardiers and bane to the Bombards the realm over? Or perhaps you haven't, but no matter, pray rest assured that I and my companions will see safely return to your beaches. Safety return to your beaches. And my favorite little music-y piece appears in this part too, and I talked over a bunch of it, so my bad. You'll hear it in a second. Bagoo, too, has come to save the day, and he has brought his fun little toys, trinkets, trifles, toys. Yes, Bagoo has brought his toys that go boom. And I'm Rufiltia. I might still be new to this adventuring business, but I promise you that what I lack in experience I make up for in pluck. Pluck, spirit, and, determination. This whole mess was all my fault, and still so many of you have come to my aid. How can I ever repay you? Nonsense, my dear. The ice you bought was at our behest, and all will be forgiven when you fashion for us the most delightful frosted dessert Master Gegaruju has ever laid eyes on. Besides, the exploits of Bombard Busting adventurers are sure to bring even more good publicity to the guild. That settles it then. Let's get out there and show the oversized ball of ice that the Isles of Endless Summer is no place for his ilk. Yay and stuff. Roar! And off they go! The fate of Blizzard of Bombards can only be completed as a disciple of war or magic. And I'm going to shimmy that on, change it into attacker stance, and make my way over here, and wait patiently, and a sarcastic patience, for the fate to begin. Oh, wait. It might actually be starting soon. Because those are there. 2 splinters! 2 splinters! Hey, where are you going? Blah blah blah, I can't see you. What are you saying? We follow the Bombardy bird. Yes, I just called it a bombarding part. Just look, it's so pretty, dice or blah 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 stuff I can't read. You'll have to pause and read it yourself. And make sure you level sync if you happen to be more than level 30 something. And for the record, yes, it's going to be very laggy because there are oodles of people around. And if the video happens to skip, that is also why. So, assuming that it goes as is planned in the first time I did this, I got 15 for participating and obviously doing this. I don't know if it's based on how much damage you do or anything, so you may want to be in a party, may not want to be. I don't think it really matters. As long as you participate and make sure, again, you're synced. To splinters, to splinters! As you can see, we have 15. And no gil or experience earned. And the NPCs do say something over here, but let's move our chocobos so others can see. Phew, what a relief! Victory's ours! Now that was a fight! Oh brother, you were amazing out there! Thank you, my friends! In no particular order. And you can see them all walking back. But anyway, so we will make our way back over here. Fabiano. Welcome back, my friend. Maga. Ah, Solarian, right tail. How did you fare? Keki. That look of relief and supreme satisfaction on your faces. Am I to surmise that you've succeeded in driving off that most baleful bombard? Bombard? Indeed, we scarcely ever broke a sweat in the doing. Isn't that right, Pompiano? Yes, because you didn't do much, probably. Quite so, my friend, though I dare say it wouldn't have been nearly so easy without Celebrian at our side. At least somebody knows the honesty. I can't thank you enough, my friend. Oh, it's nothing. And yet we must remain ever vigilant, for there is no telling what the... And yet we must remain ever vigilant, for there is no telling when the dread creature's friends may return to seek their revenge. In any event, the Isle of Endless Summer is safe for now, and that is what matters most. You truly are heroes, all of you. Well, all's well that ends well, I say. And with that, I say it's time we retrieved our supplies from the beach. Splendid, just you wait, my friends. Nakaki is going to prepare the most marvelous dessert this realm has ever seen. Yay, and stuff! And with that, Unseasonable Chills is completed. Maga. A bombard that spouts ice instead of fire, and here I thought I'd seen everything. And if you're wondering, nope, we still can't. Nakeki. A treat to beat the heat. Polar bear horn as a reward. Though cold to the touch, this horn emits a heartwarming sound that summons your polar bear, all without needing to resort to using its favorite sweets. Nakeki has a mind to whip up the finest frozen desserts you've ever laid eyes on. Oh, Celebrian, I can't thank you enough. Were it not for you, I'd have been too busy running for my life to even think of Master Gigaruju's dessert. All's well that ends well, and finally I can get down to what I was brought here to do. I promise I'll be done before you know it, so why don't you and Fabiano entertain yourselves for the time being? Ah, and while you're at it, perhaps you can call Master Gigaruju as well. I'm sure he's more eager than any to see my masterpiece take form. Laggy leg. Maga. Ah, Slimmering, truly impressive the way you chased off that bombard. Not that I'd expect any less of you. Thanks to you, I think we can safely say the guild's put on our other impressive show this year. It's only a matter of time before our halls are overflowing with aspiring adventurers. Talk about making the best of a situation. Speaking of which, I heard Nakaki's nigh done with her delightful creature. I don't know about you, but I'm most eager to taste it myself. Believe it or not, I have something of a sweet tooth. Good to know. Piano. Ah, Celebrian, again, I thank you for your efforts in helping us dispatch the bombards. To think that such a calamity would befall us on the eve of the festivities. But pray don't be too hard on Nikeki. She meant only to please, as she always has. Oh, in all that confusion I forgot to mention it, but she's actually a childhood friend of mine. We used to play together by the shore, and one day we were set upon by a vicious monster. We thought we were done for, but were saved in the nick of time by a kindly adventurer who swiftly dispatched the beast and whisked us away to safety. That's when I vowed that one day I'd serve the guild and repay my debt to the brave soul who rescued me. Meanwhile, Nikeki was a genius in the kitchen since she was just a girl. She chose the path of culinarian in hopes of filling the bellies of adventurers all over with nourishing and toothsome snacks. In the end, she found her calling making sweets, as opposed to the sort of hearty meals that you and I might favor. Well, that's rather fitting for her. She'd always had an independent streak, after all. In any event, she's positively overjoyed that her latest creation will be presented front and center at the fair, for adventurers all over to enjoy. More than anything, I'm just glad she's back with us, safe and sound. And to fit the theme, we'll fly in her snowman. Gagaruju here. Gagaruju. Oh ho! If it isn't our ever-resourceful and oh so forgiving adventurer who so ignominiously tasked with gathering ingredients for our banquet. Yes, you're welcome. What's this, you say? The fiends have been dispatched and my prized desert... Desert? My prized dessert is ready for the tasting. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I didn't really say much anything else than whatever. And we'll fly vehicle. Is that the new mount? I don't know. There's the whale from the Digital Fan Festival. Ho hum. I wanted that one. It is way too expensive for me. Yeah, khaki. Oh, it's you. You couldn't have come at a better time. I was just putting the finishing touches on my masterpiece. Pray wait for a moment, won't you? And I say it's pretty. See? I'd say that's super pretty. Adventurers, Eurasians, fairgoers, friends, I am most proud to present my latest creation. I call it Costa del Halo, Hilo. Hello? And I promise you that it will please your tongue even more than it does your eyes. And to make sure that it doesn't melt, as well as to help all of you to stay cool amidst the scorching heat, I leave you with a present from my furry friends. Sparkles. Celebrian. Well, did my dessert agree with you? After all the trouble I put you through, one can only hope so. It was more than worth the trouble. Now that's a relief to hear. If it provided you with true refreshment after all our travels, why as a confectioner and culinarian, nothing would make me happier. Roar! Speaking of which, I had meant to tell you, ever since you chased off those bombards, my little friend here hasn't been able to take her eyes off you. Just look at her face. It's as if she's saying, "Oh, Miss Adventure, what I wouldn't give to join you in your travels." Roar! Oh, truly? How kind you are. She'll be most wonderful company on the road. I promise you that. And with that, I'd best get back to the kitchen. After all, adventurers from all corners of the realm have come to taste my latest greatest creation. Until we meet again, a happy bonfire fair? Happy Moonfire Faire to you! Bye-bye! Roar! And conveniently, the fireworks are going off right now, so it adds to the cutscene. And with that, we get a treat to beat the heat. With fireworks to add to the effect. Thanks to your efforts, peace has returned to the beaches of Costa del Sol, and the festivities can commence in earnest. That is, until the Bombard Menace rears its ugly head. You may now purchase wares from the Moonfire Faire vendor, participate in the fate appearing in the southeastern region of the fairgrounds to earn vouchers that can be exchanged for goods. And with that, you get the achievement. You say goodbye, I say hello. And as I said, the fireworks are currently going off, so before I do anything else, we are going to summon our bear. We are going to open the Mount Guide. We are going to open that one. And we'll put that there. The polar bear. In search of ice to make frozen... Oh, there is a hidden text. I didn't see that. In search of ice to make frozen treats, the confectioner Nikeki traveled to an isle in the northern seas, where she encountered this hulking creature. A bite of her sweets was all it took for it to follow her back to Eorzea, where it subsequently grew fond of you. You're never too big for sweets, ancient saying. Anyway, so summoning the polar bear, it is not a new orchestrion track or anything like that. It is one common with other things, and I have to say, with the background on this polar bear, it looks very pretty. And yes, there are currently fireworks going on. They will be going on for the duration of the festivities. I actually have a recorded video of them as well. And there is also a special thing with the polar bear, a special skill that does that. We'll just use that again a second time. I think it's very pretty too. Kind of interesting anyway. My own fireworks. Anyways, nope, I don't want to zoom in there. Flying back down here, we are going to check out the other rewards that are part of this event. There is the mask stall thingy, and then some food items as well. So now we can speak to the Moonfire Faire, and you will see that the Moonfire mask stall, which is the one I was just mentioning, a stall with an assortment of colorful masks on display, as seen during the Moonfire Faire festivities. You can see that it costs 5, and the grilled corn and the Costa del Hello is also 5. So you have, assuming you get 15 from your first fate, you have enough for one of each of these. And then these are all the returning seasonal items. I'm not going to go through those. They only cost 1 each, and there is a grand total of 8 of them, if my math is right. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, so however math you want to do that, and you always get 10 of each for 1 voucher. But anyways, we're going to grab these. So here we have the grilled corn and the Costa del Hello. Grilled corn definitely looks like grilled corn, with the cob still a bit there too. And hello minion. You have the kilo as well. Different angles from that. And the stall is outside, an outdoor item, so we will go and see that in just a second. And here is the stall as well, and of course I had to sneak onto my main character, who actually owns a house, so this can actually be displayed. And you can see a previous event's Bombardy thingy as well. but that's beside the point. I also have... Oh, that's the Namazu thing. My bad. As I run past this. This actually looks pretty cool with the glow of the moon. Right now. Anyways, that is it for this one. As a reminder, again, the event continues on until August 26th, 2021. And you will have until then, obviously, to complete the event and participate in the fate for as many times as you want. Remember to level sync if you need to, and obviously that is where the fate is where the vouchers come from for you to exchange for the other various rewards. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching.